Good. Quadratic equations, quadratic expressions, and equations. What are we going to do in this case? One, we are supposed to know how to expand a plus b times a minus plus b. What do you get? We know how to expand something of this kind. But two, we are supposed to know how to factorize. If we factorize the expression a squared plus bx plus c, we get, what do you get? It's like we are coming back to this one. Number three, I want us to know how to solve a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation by factorization method, by formula, by completing the square. We are supposed to know how we form and solve quadratic equation. We're supposed to form and solve quadratic equation from two situations: when we are given roots and when we are given a situation. A situation is categorized under real life, a real life situation. And this one marks the end of form 2, but in form 3, we have a perfect square. And on a perfect square, we always know that b squared is equals to 4ac. Then we are going to know the quadratic graph. That is, in form 3, we have quadratic graph that we may not, we are going just to highlight what we do. And finally, what we do is solving quadratic by completing the square. So generally, this is what is expected of us to do, and we are going to bring in the ideas as we handle a few questions. Not very much. So I want us to go to address one question and others as we try to expose our minds to a number of things. Quadratic expressions and equations, I want us to address question in trial 2 paper 1, question 13. Trial 2 paper 1, question 13. Trial 2 paper 1, question 13. Question 13. Susan, read for us the question. Susan.
5 men, 1.
No. Trial 2, paper 1, question 13. I've shared kwa screen. You can read the one on the screen.
The width of a rectangular hall of Ruiriri Girls Secondary School is 16 meters, less than its length. Calculate the length of the hall if its area is 132 meters squared. Hence, calculate its perimeter.
This question lies under formation of quadratic equation, and then we solve. So this one is under formation. You read and interpret the way it is. Sometimes it is better to work with the diagrams. It creates a mental picture of what you are doing. It's a rectangular hall. Yes, you draw that rectangular hall. Then you go ahead. You are told a secondary school is 16. The width is 16 meters less. So if the length is L, this one would it be L minus 16, because exactly that's what you are told. It is all. You can go ahead and say let the length of the wall to be X. That's the proper communication in our subject. Then now you get back to the information. You are told the width of a rectangular hall is 16 meters less than its length. Calculate the length of the hall if it is area is this. So if this is the length, which is X, the width will be X minus 16. That is the communication. Now we are told the area is 132. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Area of a rectangle is equals to length times width. So our length is X times the width, which is X minus 16. The answer is 132. This is the equation that we want. You try to follow the information literally as it is. I want to give you a few minutes. Then you form this equation and solve. X squared minus 16x is equals to 132. Rearrange x squared minus 16x minus 132 is equals to 0. I want you to solve this one quadratically for the values of x. Get the sum, get the product. Sum is negative 16, product is negative 132. Two numbers you add, you get negative 16, and you multiply, you get 132. Okay, we can use quadratic formula. As I advise students, when a quadratic equation pops up and you are not instructed which formula to use, don't bother yourself so much with the factorization method. you can use quadratic formula straight and you get the answer. But no, let us adopt quadratic formula. The two numbers that we can add and get get negative 16 and 132, negative 22 and 6. You can confirm that. So that's our quadratic factors. We get back and substitute in our equation. Our equation is x squared minus 16x minus 132 is equals to 0. Quadratic factors, tumesema the two numbers are negative 22 and 6. So we have x squared minus 22x. Somebody unmute your microphone. Plus 6x minus 132 is equals to 0. Proceed. X plus 16, no 16, x plus 6 and x minus 22 is equals to 0. So x is equals to x plus 6 is equals to 0. X minus 22 is equals to 0. So x is equals to negative 6 and x is equals to 22. We normally say, ignore this one. Then our length is now 16. What is the equation? Hence calculate it is perimeter. So perimeter, this is 22. This one is 16 less. So 16 minus 22 minus 16, 6. Perimeter is always 2 into L plus W. So 2 into L plus W, we have 22 plus 6, 28. 22 times 2, the answer is 54. Are we together?
Yeah.
Yes.
56.
And 56, yes. Good. 28 times 2, 56. Are we in agreement? So this is a question that lies under formation of quadratic equation. Read. And nowadays, mostly this is what we have. Questions are not very straight. You cannot be told to solve a quadratic equation and you are given. You must look for it and then you solve. Those are the questions that we are expecting. A second question, so that we progress. Trial 2, paper 2, question 21. Question 21. Question 21. Question 21. Well, we have this is question 21. Let me choose one person to read for us. Susan alisoma. Eunice, read question 21.
Kibiritia Boys Secondary School intends to buy a certain number of chairs for 16,200 Kenyan shillings. the supplier agreed to offer a discount of 60 Kenyan shillings per chair, which will enable the school to get 3 more chairs. Taking Y as the originally intended number of chairs, write an expression in terms of Y for 1. Original price per chair. 2. Price per chair after the discount. Question B. Determine the number of chair the school originally intended to buy, the price per chair after discount, the amount of money the school would have saved per chair if it got the intended number of chairs at a discount of 15%.
Okay. We have a situation that we want to internalize, and then from there as I told you, these are questions that we expect. They are not very challenging if at all you focus on getting them on being realistic in your writings. So let's start with the first one. You go with what we are told. Intends to buy a certain number of chairs for 16,200. The supplier agreed to offer a discount of 60 shillings per chair, which will enable the school to get 3 chairs more. Taking Y as the originally intended number of chairs, write down an expression in terms of Y for original price per chair. So, price per chair. Part A, Roman 1, price per chair. So it is the total amount of money, which is 16,200. 16,200. That's the amount will be used to buy a number of chairs. Now, price per chair, we divide by the number of chairs to be bought. Why? Because it is the amount divided by the number of chairs will give us the price per chair, which is in Kenya shillings. Price per chair. This is the original. Price per chair after discount. Price per chair after discount. There are 2 ways. Price per chair after discount. We get back to the equation. The supplier agreed to offer a discount of 60 shillings per chair, which would enable the school to get 3 chairs. So in the second scenario, what is the total number of chairs? So chairs will be Y plus 3 chairs. That's what the school will manage to buy. But we use the same amount. So price per chair would be 16,200 divided by Y plus 3, because the number of chairs will increase. Alternatively, we focus on the 60. The supplier agreed to offer a discount of 60 shillings per chair. So it means the original price, which is 16,200, will reduce over Y, will reduce by 60 shillings. Because the original price per chair, it is what the supplier agreed to offer discount on. So with discount, 16,200 over Y minus 60. So the 2 expressions are are fine. Anybody who is not in agreement with what we have demonstrated? Well, silence means we are okay. Part B. Part B. The number of chair the school originally intended to buy. Number of chairs the school originally intended to buy. Here we must form equations. There is somewhere here we have used the word all. It means these two expressions are equal. These two expressions are equal because if we say 16,200 y plus 3 or 16,200 over y minus 60, it means the two expressions are equal. We can go ahead and substitute and equate 200 over y plus 3 is equals to 16,200 over y minus 60. That's one way. But whichever way we are going to get an equation. We can also go ahead and have an alternative to this one. Or how do you find this 60? How do you find the discount? Discount is always equal to original price minus the discounted price. So the original price was 16,200 divided by y. That is the original price. Minus the discounted price. Discounted price is 16,200 divided by y plus 3. It gives us the discount, and the discount is 60. So we have the two arguments. But the argument which is quite realistic is this one. Because it has the logic that it is the original price minus the discounted price that will give us the discount. The other one was based on logic that if you have two alternatives, the two alternatives are equal, so you equate the two. So in this case, let us work with this. Here we can have it over 1. What is the LCM? I want to check from you. LCM for y plus 3 and 1. What is the LCM of this one? LCM of y plus 3 and 1. We start with y plus 3, 1, y plus 3, 1, 1, 1. So the LCM is the product of the denominator, but convince yourself by doing something like this. Get the numbers and then we find the LCM. So multiply by the LCM. By the LCM, y into y plus 3. Multiply by the LCM, y into y plus 3. Multiply this one by the LCM, y into y plus 3. Y will cancel with y plus 3 will cancel with y plus 3, and the other one will remain. Let us write now the expression. Writing what will come out is 16,200 into y plus 3 minus 16,200 into y and equals to 60y into y plus 3. If we expand this one, we get 16,200 y. 16,200 times 3. You should be somewhere not seated. I know some people can be tricky. They can get seated and wait for the show to run. Have a calculator, be. In fact, I'm supposed to wait and be given the answers, the simplified expressions. Okay, 16,200 times 3, 48,600 minus 16,200 y equals to 60 y squared 180 y. 16,200 minus 16,200 y. It disappears that way. So we remain with the equation that I want you to solve. We remain with this. We remain with 48,600, 60y, 60y, 180y. So let's start with the 60y squared plus 180y minus 48,600 is equals to 0. We have taken this one to the other side. I can see 10 is common. Let us check whether 60 can be divided. 4860 divided by 6. Divided by 6 all through. By 6 by 6. So we have y squared plus 3y minus 810 is equals to 0. I want you to substitute this one in quadratic formula and get me the values of y. Substitute in quadratic formula. Faster, I get the values of y. All the information. Thus they have time to set up an ambush. The hospital's roof. Police officers drove up to the crime scene. All the sleeping bandits were loaded in their truck. The doctor said that the teacher was in critical condition. They put him in an air ambulance and brought him to the FBI's special hospital. It's been 1 year since Mr. Murphy died. So go. Okay. What's the answer? I want you to 9. 3 squared is 9 minus 4 times 4ac times a, which is 1, times c, which is 810, but minus Then we divide by 2 times 1. So we have -3 plus or minus 4, 8, 10 times 2. Eight 10 times 4 plus 9. 3249. Root 3249. Plus or minus 57 over 2. So the first x1 is equals to -3 plus 57 over 2. This one gives us 57 minus 3, 54. 54 over 2, 27. The second x will be x2 will be -3 minus 57 over 2, -30. We ignore -30, we move along with +27. So the initial number of calculators that were to be bought, not x, this is y1 and y. The value of y, that was the original number of calculators, the original number of were to be bought, the number of chairs the school originally intended to buy, it was y, and now y imekuwa to 27. Hope we are following. That is the original number of chairs. We have solved the equation. We have formed the equation. We have solved, and the value of y is 27. All. So we have y as 27 or y as -30. We ignore this one. Why? Because number of chairs cannot be negative. So we ignore this one. So the original number of chairs that were to be bought were 27. Our next question is price per chair after discount. Price per chair after discount, B Roman 2. Price per chair after discount. So will it be 16,200 divided by y plus 3. It is 16,200 divided by y is 27. So 27 plus 3, 30. So the original number will be Kenya shillings 1620 divided by 3. 540. That is the price, the original number of chairs to be bought. The price per chair after discount, 540. The amount of money the school could have saved per chair if it got the intended number of chairs at a discount of 15%. Well, let us think about this one. Okay. With the question asking us to find the amount of money the school could have saved. The amount of money the school could have saved if the amount of money the school would have saved per chair if it got the intended number of chairs at a discount of 15%. So we are supposed to get the original. the original number of chairs, the price for the original price was 16,200 divided by y, and our y is 27. So the price before any discount, the price.
Excuse me, cha.
Yes.
Why mbona tunasema y ni 27 na kwa ingine tumetumia 30?
Okay. A minute. Sauti ni kubwa. Why are we using 27? Okay, let's get back. We can get the idea from here. We worked out and we had this equation. After solving this equation, we found the value of y to be 27 or negative 30. We said, let's ignore negative 30. Then now we get back to the equation Roman B. Roman B, we are told the price per chair, that's where your question is, price per chair after discount. Price per chair after discount, 16,200 divided by the number of chairs, y plus 30. Because we had to ignore negative 30, so we work with 27. So 27 plus 3, it is 30. Divided by, we get 540. Are we in agreement?
Lakini mi 30 yangu ndo positive na 27 ndo negative.
From your working?
Eh.
Okay, maybe we are in, maybe I might be wrong. What about others? Solving the equation, which figure is negative? 27 or 30? Let's confirm. Debbie, wewe ndio uko na negative, uko na 30 na negative 27.
Check
For
on the
me,
screen. Check and see your screen.
Uko sure? Sasa umeiona? Aha. Sasa tukiwa kwa hiyo disagreement, hapo mambo imechemuka. Because we must be having after solving. Debbie, I think we solved somewhere. Okay, let us did you use quadratic formula? And you have y as negative 27 or y as 30. Okay. Well, faster. We have the equation. The equation is y squared plus minus 810 is equals to 0. Is that true? That's very true. Yes. Quadratic formula says y is equals to minus b, so minus 3, plus or minus the square root of others. We worked out until we had 57. that is the square root of 9 minus 4 times 1 times negative 810. This one gave us yote ukiongeza na ukifanya inakuletea 57 divided by 2a, 2 times 1. So y1 umeona? Well, so we are in agreement that our y is I think now we are good to go.
27.
27, eh? Well, let's now continue to Roman 2. Roman 2 says Roman 2, the amount of money the school would have saved per chair if it got the intended number of chairs at a discount of 15%. So we are expected to get back and find the original price per chair. Original price per chair would be 16,200 total amount over y. But now we are using y as 27. So what is the amount of money before discount? $600. That is the original amount of money, price per chair. But now the question is, what amount will be saved if the discount was to be 15%? The amount of money the school would have saved per chair if it got the intended number of chairs so it is 15% of 600. So the amount saved, amount to be saved per chair is 15% of 600, which is 15 times 5, 90 shillings per chair. And the question is done. That's what is expected. So we must read critically. After reading, try to be realistic as much as you can, and then answer the questions that you get along the way. Any question? This quadratic equation and expression is very thorough. It is quite a nice requirement. Any question? Now I want you to try one. Trial 3, paper 2, question 20. Trial paper 2, trial 3, question 20. Aye, that's not the case. It's not behaving. Maybe paper 1. Yes, trial 3, paper 1, question 20. And the question Are we in agreement? Getonga, Brenda.
You can see a screen, meta screen.
Yes, now read my screen. It is back. For us the question.
A number of people agreed to contribute equally to buy books worth 1,200 shillings for a school library. 5 people pulled out, and so the others agreed to contribute an extra 10 shillings each. Their contributions enabled them to buy books worth 200 shillings more than they originally expected. Question A. If the original numbers of people was X, write an expression of how much each was originally to contribute. Question B. Write 2 expressions of how much each contribution after the 5 people pulled out. Question C. Calculate the number of people who made the contribution. And question D. Calculate how much each contribution.
Great. For purposes of at least challenging yourself, I give you like 5 minutes to scribble something. Do something on this question. Then I will come, we get to know the expression for part A and expression for part B. A and B only. That's what I want to hear from you. I've given you 3-4 minutes to do that. Once you are done, you raise up your hand. All right, I can't see anybody's hand up. Tuinue mkono na tuseme ile tuko nayo. Part A, just a trial. Unmute, you give us your response to part A. If the original number of people was X, write an expression of how much each was originally to contribute.
X is equals to 1200 over 2.
Try your X.
It's a trial.
A trial, yes. Nasema
X is
1200
over 2.
over 2.
Yeah.
That is X.
Yes.
Okay. Another person to make a trial.
12,000 over X.
12,000 over X. Anybody wants something different from the 2? Okay. Silence means we don't have. Let us address this one. Let us justify and see which one is properly answered. Originally votes if the number of people were X. So each will contribute what? Each will contribute the intended amount to be contributed is 1200 divided by the number of people X. That's what each will contribute originally. The first person to give us the response, have you seen, are you convinced?
Yes.
Yes. That's part A. B, an expression for B, write down 2 expressions of how much each contributed after the 5 people pulled out. I wanted 2 expressions. Unmute and give us your response. Yes, somebody.
So my first equation is
Yes,
12,000 over
equation.
X
12
is 1200 over X minus 5.
Your first expression, 1200 over X minus what?
5.
5 people pulled out of 5. Yes, another one.
Hiyo ingine ni 1200 over X plus 10.
Plus 10. It is either you are in agreement or you have something else. You can unmute yourself and give us the response. Well, it's like we are in agreement with the Debbie. If you are in agreement with the Debbie, you raise up your hand.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
I have another expression. 1400 over X minus 5.
1400
over X minus
over
5.
X minus 5.
Sure, the 5 is on the X.
It's good that you have let us to know where your X is. Okay, let's now anybody with something different? Well, let's now analyze the expressions and see whether it is what we need. Write down 2 expressions of how much each contributed after the 5 people pulled out. Let's start with what we were given. Initially, 1200 divided by x, we had an agreement that each would contribute that. But now, some 5 people decided to get out of the deal. So how many members are remaining is x minus 5. So our first expression should be 1,200 over x minus 5, because this is the number of people who are remaining. So we agree with the first expression given by David. Let's move to another statement. So others agreed to contribute extra 10 shillings each. So after now, if they were to contribute 1,200 over x, they agreed, let us now increase our contribution for each by 10 shillings. So we have 1,200 over x plus 10. Also, we have, that one is okay. Let's analyze the expression given here, 1,400 minus 5. Their contributions
I have a
enabled,
question.
yes.
Mbona tuwezi sema 1200 over x minus 5 plus 10? Juu tunaambiwa 5 people pulled out and so the others agreed to contribute an extra 10 shillings.
Good. What was the initial contribution? 1200 over x, ndio? Hiyo ndio kila mtu alikuwa atoe, si ni kweli? But now they want to increase what they want to pay by 10 shillings. So it is not the COE. It is the original contribution for each plus the 10. And the original contribution in part A, it is 1200x, 1200 over x. That is what we are going to increase by 10. So each will contribute the original plus 10. Ni Irene ama nani? Are we in agreement?
Yes, iko sawa.
Sawa, good. Let us analyze what we have been given here, 1,400 over x minus 5. I can see where the 200 is. The 200 is saying their contributions enabled them to buy books worthy 200 shillings more than they originally expected. X is the number of people. Let us see whether it is making some sense. Okay, where is 1,400 coming from? Their contributions enabled them to buy books worthy 200 shillings more than they originally expected. So it means the books that will increase, they will be worth 200 shillings. So 1,400 is justified. So we want now to know what each contributed after. Still, I think 1,400 over x minus 5 is a valid argument. Yes, it is very, very valid. Let's try and see the justification as we move on. After getting this one, part C, so we have three expressions, and I see like they are making sense. The 1400 is justified because the books they bought after the contributions, they were worth 200 shillings. So 200 plus 1200 will give us 1400. And the members who contributed 1400 shillings were x minus 5. So each, this one is making sense. Let's now move to part C. Calculate the number of people who made their contributions. All these expressions are equal. So we can equate. Let's make it a logical argument. That one is by assumption. Let us make the logical argument. How do you get the 10 shillings? Each contribute 10 shillings. It is contribution after the members left. So which is 1200 over x minus 5 minus contribute the original contribution for each 1200 over x should give us 10 shillings. That is the argument. That how do you get, where is the 10 shillings coming from? 10 shillings comes from, it is the difference between the new contribution after 5 members left and the original. Another person can say, let us see whether it will make sense. 1200 over x minus 5 is equals to 1400 over x minus 5. Will it make sense? I want some people to run with this one, form an equation with this. I want us to share the ideas, and then later I want two people to form an equation, that is Getonga and Debbie. Form an equation using this 1200 over x minus 5 is equals to 1400 over x minus 5. I want you to cross multiply and reduce until you get me the equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Itafutie hiyo simplified. And I will assign others. You simplify this one until you get me the quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Good, let's go. And again.
Debbie, umepata nini?
Kiasi nimalize.
After my cross multiply 1200 over x minus 5 is equals to 1400 over x minus 5 umepata 1200 into brackets x minus 5 is equals to 1400 into brackets x minus 5. Ama umepataje?
Mimi nimetumia hii ingine. Natumia hii ya 1400.
Oh.
Good. We are back.
1400.
This one is not working.
1400 ifanye kazi.
1400, it means to may disqualify. We have two expressions only. So we can run with this one.
Sure.
Yes.
Maybe hiyo ya 1400 inafaa kuwa 1400 over x minus 5. 1200 over x is equals to 10.
Come on again.
1400 over x minus 5 minus 1200 over x is equals to 10.
Okay, yeah, it can be that way.
Excuse me, cha. Si tu, kwa swali wamesema venye watano walitoka, they had to pay 200 more.
No.
So
the question says after their contributions enable them to buy books worthy 200 shillings more. So it means to the original that was 1200 utaongeza hiyo 200 huko ikae 1400. It is
tunaweza sema
books. The books are the ones which are more. So it's like this expression, that's the assumption I was making. This expression, it resembles this. But another person is giving us another version that it is 1200. This one, I'm not in agreement properly with it unless we investigate further. But the two outlined expressions are 1200 over x minus 5, 1200 over x plus 10. But still, sometimes back, nilikuwa naona hii ya 1400 ikikuja, but I know exactly how it was coming in. Wale wataijua, watakuja kutuelezea baadaye. For those who are running with 1200 over x minus 5 and 1200 over x is equals to 10, give us your expression. What is the equation in terms of ax squared bx plus c is equals to 0? LCM x into x minus 5, x into x minus 5. x into x minus 5. X and x will cancel. X minus 5 will cancel with x minus 5. 1200x minus 1200x plus 1200 times 5, 6000 is equals to 10x squared minus 50x. Like terms together, 10x squared minus 50x minus 6000 is equals to 0. 10 is common, so we have x squared minus 5x minus 600 is equals to 0. This is what I was expecting from you, Beth and others. Did you get this one? Do you have this expression? Susan? Mushiri Ann, how are you? So we are in agreement that we have x squared minus 5x minus 600 is equals to 0. Wait, unmute and say yes.
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 Very good. Now that you have said a very yes, which is very bold, I want you to solve this one using quadratic formula. You get me the value of x. The value of x.
Teacher, hapo kwa kufungua brackets using LCM, hapo kwa LCM ukimultiply na LCM, rudia tena polepole.
Very good. Hey, hii ndio kazi napenda. We have tumesema LCM is x into x minus 5. We multiply every term with x minus 5. X minus 5. If we do cancellation in our data work, I want to force yourself to see, if we do cancellation, x minus 5 will cancel with x minus 5. So what will remain is 1200 into x. X will cancel with the x. What will remain is 1200 into x minus 5.
Umeona?
Umeona? And then equals to this one. So if you open brackets, that's why 6,000 is coming in. Very good. Now we are here. Our expression is x squared minus 5x minus 600 is equals to 0. You solve this one quadratically. What are the values of x and x2? We agreed to use quadratic formula. Minus b5 plus or minus the root of b squared 25 plus 4ac divided by 2 times a. 5 plus or minus 60 times 4 to 40 to 40 plus 25.
Chani times 60 ama 600.
600. What do you get?
49.24.
49.24. So what is the value of x1? Hey, and why is it misbehaving? It should give us something. Okay, let's work with what we have. So our first value of x will be 5 plus 49.24. Then divide by 2.
27.12.
Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Your times 600, if equal times negative 600.
Okay, all right. We made an assumption.
Yes.
Remember this one has a negative. Hapa kuna negative na hapa kuna negative. So negative times negative?
Positive.
Yes. So that's why we don't we did not include the negatives.
Hapo kwa 5 ni negative.
Kwa wapi?
Hapo kwa 5 plus or minus 49.24 because pale ni negative.
Okay,
5.
let me address the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula says minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. What are the values from our quadratic formula? Our quadratic equation, the value of a is 1, value of b is negative 5, and value of c is negative 600. Tukiweka hapa minus 5 na minus 5. See minus 5, minus 5 itakuwa positive. Those are small things I want you to take into consideration. Umeona ni 5, not negative.
Yes.
Yes. If you go to the roots, so I will advise you when you are substituting in a quadratic formula, substitute it in a very raw form. Simply say x into minus 5 plus or minus 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 600. It will do you justice, because the way we are now bringing them in, they may confuse. But we can master. If b is negative, obviously it will be a positive, but substitute at a very raw stage. Don't overthink or do anything else. Okay, the value of x ya kwanza ni 27.12. Another x will be negative
22.1.
negative 22.1. You know the negative, eh? So our value of x is 27.12. So with 27.12, we can now answer the rest of the questions. Calculate how much each contributed. Each contributed. So each contributed. What was the expression for contribution for each? It was after 5 have left.
Sure. The previous question in Oliza calculates the number of people who made the contribution tukapata 27.12, but we were told that watu hawezi kuwa into decimal, so tutatumia 27.
Exactly, that's why I was even worried. This question should not give us a decimal. I don't know why it is giving us a decimal. Should not give us a decimal.
So what?
Because we are talking of people.
What if we use 27 as a whole?
Then it's not making exact. Okay, for now, okay, let's use 27 because people cannot be decimals. The number of people X is the number of people. So we are supposed to have it as our own number. Okay, let's use 27. So calculate how much each contributed. So each, ukiulizwa how much each contributed, we work with the people who are there. So we work with the people 1200 divided by X, 27 minus 5. So it is 1200 divided by 22. But I want you to do the question and see whether it has some misbehavior along the way. But that's what is expected of us. Read the question, try to analyze it properly, and then bring in the information you are given to answer other questions. That's a quadratic expression and equations. I want us to do one that talks about perfect square. Perfect square. Now that's we go to section 1. Trial 10, paper 2, question 14. Let us see what it is saying. Trial 1, paper 2, trial 10. Trial 10, paper 2, question 14. Solve the equation by completing the square method. Nataka ukae umeanza, tunakutana along the way. Completing the square. I want us to agree on the steps. By completing the square method, you solve this 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 equals to 0. There are a number of things you agreed, but let us refresh. We agreed that for us to start off quadratic completing the square, the coefficient of x squared must be 1. Coefficient of x squared must be 1. So the first step is to divide by 3, by 3, by 3, by 3. Now step number 2, it is to take the constant to the other side. We take this one to the other side. So we have x squared minus 7 over 2 over 3x. This equals to minus 2 over 3. We have taken this one to the other side. This is a question that you should answer as a robot. No even thinking. Okay, nimeona hiyo coefficient of x squared must be 1 divided by the coefficient of x squared. Then step, take the constant to the other side. Then complete the square. I've skipped some up here for completing the square so that I don't struggle so much. Completing the square, you add b over 2 squared both sides. So our b over 2 is negative 7 over 3 times 2. B over 2 squared, but our b is negative 7 over 3. So that 3 of the denominator would be joined by 2. We do the same on the other side, negative 7 over 3 times 2. Then we square. Then evaluate x squared minus 7 over 3 x plus minus 7 over 3 over 6. 7 over 6 squared is equals to minus 2 over 3 plus negative 7 over 6 squared. That's on evaluation. Then we proceed, take the square root of this one and the square root of this first term, x. Square root of this, we take the number inside the brackets, negative 7 over 6. Then squared is equals to, this one is negative 2 over 3 plus 49 over 36. Evaluate this one, LCM 36. That's 6 by 3, 12. 12 times negative 2, negative 24 plus 49. 25 over 36. So this is 25 over 36. X minus 7 over 6, then squared. So let's take square roots both sides. We square root this one. On getting the square root both sides, we remain with the x minus 7 over 6. This equals to square root of 25 over 36 is 5 over 6. So x1 is equals to 5 over 6. Square root of a number is plus or minus. Five over 6. So we take this one to this side. So it will be x1 is equals to 7 over 6 plus 5 over 6, which gives us 12 over 6 is equals to 2. x2 is equals to 7 over 6 minus 5 over 6. This is 2 over 6, which is a third. I want you to grasp the steps, and then we follow through. I'm going to share this video. If in case you skip the gap, you create some time and you go through. That is completing the square method and solving a quadratic equation. Anybody has a question?